Happy Friday. My name is Bill Wheeler. I am running as a District 1 candidate in Everett, Washington for City Council. So today I want to address something that was brought up because my campaign website says I believe in promoting family values. And unfortunately, when you tell people nowadays that you are promoting family values, there are certain groups of people, mostly from the alphabet community. Nothing wrong with that. So let's just put a pause on it. Listen to what I got to say. There are some people, primarily from the alphabet community, who automatically assume because they don't want to do due diligence or whatever the other issue it is, that they are automatically right wing. Automatically, they don't like anybody that is outside of a nuclear family that is a man and a woman. Okay. Just because I personally don't believe in pronouns, um, if you do, good for you. Um, Welcome to the Republic where you get to decide what you do with your body and not other people. Um, that is what being a part of Republic is all about. So, congratulations in your haste responses and all of a sudden bashing on somebody that uses the phrase that they believe in family values. Um, those people need a reality check because just because you use the word family values doesn't mean that you're not for, guess what, family values. So, what does that mean? So, what does that mean, family values? So, let's be clear what that means. I believe in protecting and supporting all families of all shapes, sizes, backgrounds. My values are rooted in respect, safety, education, opportunity, and community. To me, family values means ensuring kids can walk to school safely, parents can afford groceries and rent, and seniors can age with dignity. It's not about judging people's private lives. It's about making Everett a place where all families, however they're defined, can thrive. So, what does that mean? I just said it. So, I mean, let's be real about this. These people care about the phrase family values, but they don't care about let's take half your paycheck and just hand it over to people that want to misappropriate funds, overspend. Let me see, city transit buses that only were in business for 2 years and they got rid of them because, oh, they fired all the maintenance guys or they didn't train them on how to work on all this equipment. Should have thought that through before you bought it. And not to mention the ROI, the return on investment was zero. There was no return on investment with those. It was a sunken cost. It was never basically mortgaging your kids' future is what they did, and they had no problem doing that. Just like this ball field, mortgaging your kids' future. I mean, let's talk about where your priorities are when you want to get hung up on family values, and then you have the audacity to post in these forums how you're going to go for the guy endorsed by Foos who did nothing but raise your taxes. Well, guess what, buddy? When they raise your taxes and you're a tenant, your rent's going to go up. Your rent control is going to get capped at a market rate. And you may be sitting pretty right now because you're not all the way there. But guess what? Your rent ain't going down. Your rent ain't getting cheaper. It's going to go up. It's going to keep going up. And then you're going to be sitting there begging for subsidies from the state, which is exactly what they want and exactly why you are making a bad decision and not taking those into accountability because you're so busy virtual signaling to the whole community, so virtuous that you're letting everybody else around you get screwed because you have a problem with people not using the appropriate pronoun. So let's get a little honest with ourselves about where we are as a city and your feelings about it, um, and how you get so hung up on all this other crap, you're getting completely robbed blind. but yet the only person that's willing to stick up for you, you're so virtuous that you're getting hung up on family values. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe some of you were raised in a shitty predicaments, but you're obligated under a member of this community to make those predicaments that were probably unfavorable for you better for the ongoing people that are going to have to live in this community well after you're gone. That's your obligation as a human being, as a basic core fundamental component of being a human being and showing any sort of compassion if you have any is to make the city that you live in a better place when you're done with it than what it was while you occupied it for the future generations to come. And you don't do that by taxing the hell out of people and slinging them into poverty, because all you're going to have are kids raised in poverty by a system where they're doing nothing but getting indoctrinated into just so you can feel better in the moment. So let's get real serious about this. Let's not talk about a baseball field, where they're wanting to spend 100 and something million dollars, where they're basically mortgaging futures, getting high interest yielding loans, and then turning back at the community. And then they're going to wonder why we're bankrupt for even more time to come. Or spending, $20 million in overages on renovating City Hall that has nothing to do with people that live on the streets. Where's that money going? Where are the people that are supposed to be taking care of this stuff? The state has given away more money to fight this homeless crisis. You could have given every one of these guys $1 million by now and given them plane tickets to Tahiti. So I mean, you're really pushing it when it comes to getting your facts straight, and you're really pushing it when it comes to what's important to you. When you get hung up on the word family values, how virtuous are you? Let's sit here and really think about it. You want to be taxed out of existence is what you want, and that to me just makes no sense. That doesn't make you a good person at all when you get hung up on where people are coming from, mincing their words just to make you feel like a better person. So we're gonna have to really really think about this and where this city is. You want to roll over and get pissed on, or you want to roll over and piss on yourself like a dog going into submission. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. If you don't see the propaganda by now, your head is so far up your butt, you don't even know what day of the week it is. It's Friday, 5/23, by the way. So, I mean, you really got to put stuff into perspective. I don't know how else to get through to some of these people. It's 2025. Everybody's got the internet. Everybody has access to videos. People could go and pull up websites. They're going to pull up campaign websites and they're going to check out the little YouTube clicks. They're going to check out the Facebook and the Instagrams and stuff. And I just hope that there's enough people that are actually going to vote with their head and not with whatever the hell it is, complaining about the word family values. I've never heard such so. It's so stupid. It's so stupid that you get hung up on this stuff, and it's so stupid that they get hung up on this stuff because they're trying to push a freaking narrative. And the narrative is what? Taxing the hell out of people for what? For what? You're not even taxing for anything. You're just taking people's money and you're embezzling it. It's absolute fraud. If anybody else did this, they'd be in freaking prison rotting right now. So they're all guilty by association. Every single person on city council that hasn't spoken up against this is committing a serious crime here, including the mayor. There needs to be investigations into all this fraud and stuff going on. We need to know where our money's going, who these companies are, and where every freaking dollar is being spent. Because you know what? It really pisses me off. You keep going around telling people how you care about how people throw around words talking about family freaking values, and you throw up your fucking rainbow flags like it means something. It doesn't do anything for nobody. It's not getting people off the streets. You're not doing anything to cut taxes. You're doing nothing for the elderly people that are living in nursing homes, can't have access to the internet unless they pay for it from their social security check that's barely anything. And you're virtue signaling. You're virtue signaling. That's cute. That's something real freaking special. Congratulations. I mean, I don't know. This generation and their weird virtue signaling crap. And then the cucked out parents who sit there and they go and they act so submissive to this weird ideology that just rots the brain and it rots society from the inside out to the core. It just completely rots. Everything it touches, it does nothing good. What good thing has come from all this? What good thing has come from all this? What good thing in this town has come from the virtue signaling? And you know what? The acknowledgement, the land acknowledgement, that right there is a mental conditioning to get taxpayers mentally conditioned that not only is a city taking all your money, basically charging you rent for your house to be on your land that you bought, but now it's mentally conditioning to you believing that you had no rights to that land whatsoever. Well, if that's the case, then I want to see the virtuous city of Everett give every penny that they get from taxing homeowners in the very town that they're giving a land acknowledgement to, every freaking dime back to the tribe. Let me see you do that, Everett. Let's see how virtuous you really are. The city council wants to get up there along with the mayor and act so freaking virtuous with their stupid little land acknowledgement. You don't want to give all that money back to the tribes. You should give every dollar back to the tribes if you want to act so freaking virtuous. And then let them decide. As a matter of fact, if you want to be so freaking virtuous, why even have a city of Everett? Why even have a city council? You should just sign everything away right now under your discretion and that rainbow flag because that's under the guise that you're doing this whole technocracy over and sign it away to the reservation. You won't do it because it's about money, it's about enslavement, it's about your stupid agendas. You're highly unpopular. Let's go and kill everybody, tax people to death, build 5 minute cities, and you think that you're going to sit there and come out on top? You're already at the bottom. This is crazy. This is absolutely freaking nuts that people can't see through this. So I don't know. I don't know. You sit here and say, oh, it's offensive to talk about a rainbow flag. Well, guess who had the rainbow flag first? It was a sign from Christianity between the covenant from God to Noah that he wouldn't flood the world again, was a sign of a freaking rainbow. So guess what? You're actually disrespecting Christians when you fly that flag. But you know what? That's your right. That's a republic. See, that's the difference between the people like me that actually work for a living and don't give a crap and people that complain about the word family values because it hurts their feelings. The same people that can't distinguish between what a man and a woman is because that hurts their feelings. So here we are. Clearly, yes, there is a very, very big difference in candidates here because if you want to appeal to socialists and be part of this little mind experiment they got going on, by all means, vote for whoever. You can vote for the old man walking around virtue signaling, talking about, I don't know, how he supports diversity work groups and blah blah blah. And while he's still voting to take all your money and raising your taxes and utility bills, you can vote for the other guy who's endorsed by the lady that's been in there for years, who took all your money from the coffers and you know taxed the hell out of you guys, voted for every increase possibly known to man. The city still looks like crap. Everything got worse, nothing got better. Remember that. Um, or you could vote for me, the guy who's going to tell everybody to piss off. You're over it. No more taxes. And guess what? Oh, you want to do this? Well, we're going to have to find the money. By the way, we need to lower taxes because every other city in this town, whether you like it or not, maybe you got your head in the sand and you don't travel anywhere. But if you go outside of Washington State or even to any other county outside of this one, out in rural areas, They get far less money. They get way farther. Their education doesn't suck. They're not spending crazy amounts of money in property taxes. Their seniors are very well taken care of. The senior community is backed up 110%. Unlike here, this town is heartless. Letting people street out, sleeping out in the streets is not humane. That's a load of crap. Where's the money going? And then you got what? Selective sheltering over at the church? That's the church. They get their own money off of donations and stuff. And then the city likes to swoop in and take credit. That's a load of crap. That's a load of crap. People want to support them. They can take their hard earned money, they can support it. If you want to take your money and you want to support it, you do that. That's a republic. But stealing from my pocket and every other hard working worker person's pocket to pay for crap that you don't believe in, that's nuts. That is insane. That is insane. That's not what this country was founded on. This country is a republic. Get over it. United States, all states united. So you can sit here and bow to whatever dictator is installed, But if you aren't paying attention, your head is you need to get your head in the game and realize what's going on. Right now, heading into Memorial Day weekend, every state, besides a select few that are highly democratic, are going around the $1.98 a gallon. We're at $4.30 a gallon. I just paid $4.30 a gallon right here in District One. Yeah, you don't understand how carbon tax works. The thing you voted for? Yeah, the carbon tax. So the state of Washington's making over $2 a gallon. They've probably made more since Trump was elected in just gasoline profits than they have the entire time, but they still raise taxes. See, they still created a problem. They still raise taxes. More money generated for the sake of the environment and fighting the environment, because supposedly the environment plays off money. Um, yeah, I didn't know if you guys knew that or not, but apparently you can save the environment with money. I don't know how that works. You chop the trees down, you print the cash, and you save them with them. So I guess that's a circle of life as far as as far as they're concerned. I hope people are starting to understand how freaking nuts this is and how horrible our city council is and how absolutely of a disgrace our mayor has been to our city and just cucked to this global new world transition that they're trying to do. Highly unpopular, anti-human, anti-family, anti-everything. You live in a diverse family. Congratulations. Um, but most of those people that are for this, I mean, just like you go out there and protest, what? Stopping people from fraudulently collecting Social Security. That's what you're protesting. You're not protesting taking away Social Security. You're protesting the fact that the fraud is being stopped because nobody's touching your Social Security. If you think people are touching it, then you need to really start reading what's going on. And yeah, there's nobody that should be on Social Security where their Social Security is being stopped. Absolutely not. That is just not happening. If you believe that one thing, if you believe that is a truth in your life, then yeah, vote for the other guy. Vote for the other guy. If you believe that is a truth to you, not a truth in reality, but your truth, because that's what they like to say nowadays. It's not about the truth; it's about my truth. If you believe outside of the constraints of this reality and what we know of it, and to you that's your truth, then yeah, you should vote for the other guy. If anybody thinks that the other guy is going to go and vote to cut taxes when clearly they said we need more social programs, social, socialist, figure it out. Um, yeah, then yeah, vote for the other guy. If you think seniors should be on a fixed income, getting their checks, maybe uh, you know $600 to $900 a month, but they're paying $600 in property taxes, because we just raised property taxes. Um, then yeah, you should vote for the other guy because I don't think you take care of elderly people by making them pay property taxes. I don't think elderly people should pay a dime towards property taxes. As a matter of fact, Maybe we should take all this money going to homeless people, and if they refuse to get rid of the property taxes for the elderly people, then maybe us as a community should be paying the property taxes of older people. How about that? How about we figure something out to where we're actually helping elderly people and not taking money out of their pocket? Because every time you vote for these levies and vote for, teachers this, police department this, fire department this, and blah 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 blah, you're taking money from, guess what, the elderly, the homeowners, the people who paid off their homes, but they're doing nothing but paying property taxes off on a fixed income. Yeah, and then it's like pulling strings trying to even get it to where you don't pay property taxes. So if they make it so difficult that seniors can't even get their property taxes waived. They have a program set up just so they say that they have it, but in actual functionality and implementation, it is a complete fraud. It is a fraud. So don't sit here and tell me that you're a loving and caring, compassionate person when you're sitting there screwing somebody over who did their time and put forth work into this community to make your life better. And then you're turning around and making their life a living hell because you want a virtue signal, because you don't like the word family values. So, yeah, it's very sad that that was a criticizing, um, a crutch, you know. And people are going to attack me basically because of who I am, or whatever, or what they think they know. And I'll tell you that y'all don't know nothing about me. You may think you do, but you don't. And then going around town pulling up my signs, um, you know that's a load of crap. I could see exactly where this is going. You play dirty, okay, you can play fucking dirty. Your stupid little pictures of, oh, we're a diverse family, yay, and trying to sit here and act all fake and crap. And you could sit here and post pictures. Oh, this is me on the street. I love meeting people, shaking hands and stuff. Yeah, you can do all that crap. Post these pictures. Go out there, kiss all the ass you want. Um, at the end of the day, are you going to actually, when it push comes to shove, and they say people in this town are tired of paying higher taxes, are you actually going to have the testicular fortitude to get up there and say, absolutely not, my district doesn't want it? Because I will. Are they going to have the testicular fortitude to sit back and say, you know what, our utility bills should be cheaper? Because guess what? We have more solar, a better infrastructure. Our technology has improved. Our filtration systems are better. The delivery systems are better. We're living in the year 2020 freaking 5. We've done everything we can to be sustainable and save as much power as we can. And then you go and screw us over, move the goalpost, and you raise our utilities every freaking chance you get. For what? So, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to sit up there and say, absolutely not, figure it out. This is on you. You're a business. Fix your problems. But our people have had enough. You go to rural towns where they barely have anything as far as infrastructure. They're paying maybe $50 a month for their gas and water. Yeah, there's places out there that don't have half the infrastructure we have. We're getting completely screwed. So that's where we are as a community. That's where we are as a town. This was a long rant. It didn't mean to be, but some things kind of peeved me off a little bit. And yeah, you want to have a discussion? Let's have a discussion. You want to have a debate? Let's have a debate. You want to open up the channels of communication? Let's open this up. Let's get this thing going. I read a lot about other districts and a lot about members in the community, and the crime and little things. I mean, yeah, you know what? You want to know? You want to get your finger on the pulse in this town? Yeah, let's have a discussion. So heading into the weekend, I'll probably post a few videos. Maybe I will, maybe I'm not. Um, Behind me, there's a sign: "Take back your town." Bill Wheeler, City Council, District 1. If you want a sign to put in your yard, ask me. I will get it to you. I can put it up, or you can pick it up. Um, however you want to do it. If you want one for your business window, show your support. The more support, that's all I want. I don't want money. I don't want donations. I made that very clear. If you offered me money and donations, I won't even take it. I just don't want it. All I want is for you to spread the word and put a sign up. If that, spreading the word, telling people about my website, having them go there, tell them if you want lower taxes, vote for this guy because he will be the only one up there fighting for you. That's that. That's the facts. There's nothing disingenuous about that. That is it. If you want somebody to fight for seniors, you want somebody to fight for lower taxes, you want somebody to fight for the fact that we're paying more in utilities than we ever have as a city, or the fact that we're being screwed as far as all these city projects with huge overruns in the millions, needs to be investigated. It is essential. If you're tired of them proposing these preposterous ideas, spending millions of dollars on bathrooms, I mean, come on, it's got to stop. If you want this to happen and we pull together as a community, we can make it happen. But that's what grassroots is. I mean, take the clip, spread the word, let people know. If you want to live in a better place, that's how it's got to be. And be strong. You know, look, people ain't going to like me. You don't even have to tell them you're voting for me. Just spread the word, tell them, let them decide what they want to decide. But you know what? You would find yourself in a situation where you think your neighbors love you. And we live in a wicked world right now where it is an unfortunate thing where people will look at you in the face. They will tell you they're your brethren. They will tell you how much they love you and how much they care and how much they love the community. And they will do it all under a false banner of pride and respect. But they don't really have pride or respect for you. They hate your guts. They want you to work. They want to sit at home. They want your money. They want to tax you. They want to kill you. They literally want to kill you. They want to take everything you have. They want to put you in a coffin apartment and they want you to rot to death. That is the vision that they have. So please take the time, spread the word, let people know that they have a serious candidate in this town and he's pissed and he wants to represent you. But I can only do so much. That's all I got to say for now. Have a good weekend. God bless. I'll post more videos later. If you have any ideas for content, let me know. I will post them. I'm not a professional blogger. Sorry if the audio is off or the lighting's off or the volume cuts out or the camera cuts out. I try as hard as I can with what I got. That's all I have. Thank you.